All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasizes the importance of self-reliance for all-round growth and development of the nation. Tamil Nadu government withdraws e-pass system for travel within the state. Haryana lifts 2-day weekly lockdown of markets after Unlock 4 guidelines. Festival of Onam being celebrated across the country today. And in sports, India and Russia declared joint winners for FIDE Chess Olympiad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given a clarion call to citizens of the country to become self-reliant in every area. Addressing the nation in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio yesterday, the Prime Minister stressed on the importance of Atmanirbhar Bharat for all-round growth and development of the nation. He said Indians, especially Generation Next, have a lot to offer in terms of innovation and solutions, and that we should harness this potential for a better tomorrow. The Prime Minister cited how at the beginning of this month the nation's youth participated enthusiastically in the Atmanirbhar Bharat App Innovation Challenge. He said around 7,000 entries were received, out of which two-thirds were from youth of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान में वर्चुअल गेम्स हो, टॉयज का सेक्टर हो, सबने बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभानी है और ये अवसर भी है। जब आज से 100 वर्ष पहले असहयोग आंदोलन शुरू हुआ तो गांधी जी ने लिखा था कि असहयोग आंदोलन देशवासियों में आत्मसम्मान और अपनी शक्ति का बोध कराने का एक प्रयास है। आज जब हम देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं तो हमें पूरे आत्मविश्वास के साथ आगे बढ़ना है। हर क्षेत्र में देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाना है।
The Prime Minister called upon the young talent in the country to make computer games in India and based on India. He said that there can be games based on the country's rich history. He said the virtual gaming and the toy sector has a very important role to play in the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. The Prime Minister urged the startups to come together and manufacture toys to make India a hub for toy production. The Prime Minister emphasized the need to promote local toys and said it is time to go vocal for local toys. During the program, the Prime Minister also lauded the role of farmers in the trying times of the corona pandemic. He said sowing of kharif crops has increased by 7% as compared to last year in the country.
हमारे देश में इस बार खरीफ की फसल की बुआई पिछले साल के मुकाबले 7% ज्यादा हुई है। धान की रुपाई इस बार लगभग 10%, दालें लगभग 5%, मोटे अनाज कोर्स सीरियल्स लगभग 3%, ऑयल सीड्स लगभग 13%, कपास लगभग 3% ज्यादा बोई गई है। मैं इसके लिए देश के किसानों को बधाई देता हूं, उनके परिश्रम को नमन करता हूं।
The Prime Minister added, a Bharatiya Krishi Kosh is being set up which will have a complete information about the crops that are grown in each district and their related nutritional value. Stating that September will be observed as Nutrition Month in the entire nation, he called for an increased focus on the value of quality nutrition. He highlighted the importance of public participation in the nutrition movement. The Prime Minister said Teachers' Day will be celebrated in a few days from now on the 5th of September. He expressed happiness that not only have teachers accepted the challenges posed by the pandemic, but have also turned it into an opportunity. The Prime Minister highlighted that national education policy is bringing about a tectonic shift in the nation and teachers will play a significant role in disseminating its benefits to the students. Prime Minister Modi said this period is full of festivals, fairs and religious ceremonies. He said it is heartening to see people celebrating festivals and also observing discipline due to the pandemic. He highlighted that Indian festivals are deeply connected to the environment. The Prime Minister also pointed out that in West Champaran district of Bihar, people belonging to Tharu tribal community have been observing a 60-hour lockdown for centuries. In Tamil Nadu, a series of relaxations have been announced for Unlock 4, which will come into effect from tomorrow. Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy said that the e-pass system for travel within the state is dispensed with. For interstate travel, the e-pass will be auto-generated immediately after applying through the portal. More from our correspondent.
Public and private transport is allowed from Tuesday within the districts including in Chennai. The Chennai Metro train service will resume operation from the 7th September. However, the suburban train service will remain suspended till the 15th. Shopping malls are allowed to reopen on the 1st, though cinema halls in them will remain closed. Hotels, resorts and parks are also permitted to reopen. All places of worship are allowed to welcome the devotees, and the regulation on the number of people to be allowed at a time is to be made known soon. The usual full lockdown on Sundays is done away with. All factories and offices in the whole state are allowed to function in full strength. The slew of new measures is in tune with the centre's latest guidelines. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Haryana government has withdrawn an order of shutting markets in non-containment zones of urban areas in the state on Mondays and Tuesdays. The withdrawal of the order comes after the centre's guidelines for Unlock 4, the fourth phase of easing of national COVID-19 lockdown restrictions. Earlier on Friday, Haryana government had ordered that malls and shops in marketplaces of urban areas will remain closed on Mondays and Tuesdays instead of weekends as instructed earlier. This order, however, was not for shops dealing with essential goods and services. Under the guidelines for Unlock 4, state governments have been directed not to impose localized lockdowns outside containment zones without prior consultation with the centre. Unlock 4 guidelines, which will come into force from tomorrow, includes the reopening of metro services and allowing social, political, academic, sports, religious and other functions with a maximum of 100 people as attendees. Delhi Disaster Management Authority DDMA has extended the functioning of weekly markets on a trial basis till 6th of September in the national capital. Last week, the DDMA had allowed on a trial basis to open such markets, one market per day per municipal zone. The authorities have directed officials to ensure strict implementation of anti-COVID-19 measures, including social distancing and mandatory use of face masks at these markets.
In Uttar Pradesh, all schools, colleges and educational institutes will remain closed till 30th of September, but the online and distance learning will be encouraged. A day after the Union Home Ministry issued the Unlock 4.0 guidelines, the state government has also issued the Unlock guidelines. Almost all guidelines are same as per the centre's directions. A letter released by Chief Secretary R.K. Tiwari said metro trains will be allowed to resume from 7th of September in a phased manner. For this, the standard operating procedure will be issued separately. Cinema halls, swimming pools, entertainment parks, theatres, auditoriums and similar places will remain closed. However, open-air theatres will be allowed to open from 21st of September. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has announced free travel arrangements for students appearing in the NEET and JEE examinations. Chief Minister made the announcement on his official Twitter handle yesterday. The students will be provided free travel arrangements from the block or district headquarters to the examination centres by the government. A report.
The state government had decided to provide free transportation to the students appearing in the JEE Mains and NEET 2020 examinations. The purpose is to protect the students from the problem of coming to the examination centers due to the corona pandemic. The candidates have to contact 181 or Madhya Pradesh e-pass portal and register themselves to avail this facility. The concerned district administration will provide this facility to the candidates. If the candidate wishes, one of his associates will also be provided a free transportation facility to and fro from the examination center. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal had on Thursday said that the safety and future of the students is the topmost priority with regard to the conduct of the JEE and NEET exams. National Testing Agency is scheduled to conduct the NEET on September 13th and JEE examinations between September 1st and 6th.
A committee comprising of vice-chancellors and education experts in Maharashtra to prepare a timetable for the UGC exams will release its plans for conducting the final year or final semester exams in universities today. The committee will announce the rough timeline of how exams can be conducted. More from our correspondent.
Maharashtra Minister for Higher and Technical Education, Uday Samant, had said that the state would ensure that the health issues of the students, teaching and non-teaching staff members are not compromised. The minister also said that care will be taken that exams are conducted in the simplest way without asking students to come to the exam center. Options for an open book exam, assignment-based exam, online exams and offline exams will be explored. The VCs have conveyed to the minister that they would require 40 to 45 days to prepare for the exam. Nivedita, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Karnataka, 8,852 new COVID-19 cases were reported yesterday, taking the tally to 3,35,928. 7,101 people recovered and were discharged from various hospitals in the state, and the total number of recovered people have gone up to 2,42,229. The state recovery rate has risen to 72.11%. The state mortality rate has dipped to 1.66%.
In Gujarat, 1,272 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded during the last 24 hours. Our correspondent reports that the recovery rate has further improved to 80.67%.
More than 22,65,000 tests have been carried out in the state, out of which 69,488 tests were carried out yesterday. Out of 1,272 new cases, the maximum 174 new cases reported from Surat. Total cases of COVID-19 in the state have gone up to 95,155. At present, 15,390 active cases are in the state. At the other end, 1,095 patients have been discharged from various hospitals after recovery. With this, the total patients recovered from COVID-19 have gone up to 76,757. The total deaths due to COVID-19 in the state are 3,008. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In Chhattisgarh, the number of corona-positive cases has breached the 30,000 mark. The state reported 1,346 fresh COVID-19 cases yesterday, while 7 infected people succumbed to the virus, taking the tally of confirmed cases in the state to 30,092. Chhattisgarh has now 13,520 active cases, as 16,303 people have been discharged post-recovery, while 269 have died so far. Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel has gone into self-isolation after 2 of his staff members tested positive for COVID yesterday. COVID-19 caseload of Odisha has crossed the 1 lakh mark. With 3,014 positive cases reported yesterday, the total tally has reached 1,934,000. The positivity rate has been hovering at 5%. With 12 more deaths reported yesterday, the death toll has risen to 482. More than 70,000 patients have recovered from the infection. A report.
It took the virus more than a month to infect only 100 people after it struck the state around mid-March. But in a little over 5 months, the viral burden of the state has overshot the 1 lakh mark despite many preemptive measures of the state government, including the weekend shutdown, being in force for quite some time now. The daily discovery of more than 3,000 cases over the last week has been adding to the COVID tally, with district-wise contribution ranging from as low as 2 in Deoghar district to as high as 684 in Khordha. Girish Chandra, Bhubaneswar.
In Bihar, 2,078 fresh corona cases were reported during the last 24 hours. 2,231 patients recovered yesterday, taking the state's recovery rate to 86.88%, which is 10% more than national average. Altogether, 1,17,305 patients have recovered in the state so far. Active cases are declining following rise in recovery. The death toll due to COVID-19 in the state has risen to 688. In Uttar Pradesh, the Chief Minister Helpline 1076 has been actively engaged in calling COVID-19 patients who are under home isolation or in hospital. Every day, the call executives are calling around 20,000 patients to know about their health status and transferring the information to districts for further action. State capital, Lucknow, witnessed the highest ever increase in number of new cases in a day. Yesterday, 999 new COVID-positive cases were found in Lucknow. The city has biggest number of total positive cases in the state. Yesterday, 17 cities in state recorded more than 100 cases in a span of 24 hours. The list includes Tier 2 cities like Aligarh, Saharanpur, Barabanki, Ayodhya, Azamgarh and Lakhimpur Kheri. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasizes the importance of self-reliance for all-round growth and development of the nation. Tamil Nadu government withdraws e-pass system for travel within the state. Haryana lifts 2-day weekly lockdown of markets after Unlock 4 guidelines. Festival of Onam being celebrated across the country today. And in sports, India and Russia declared joint winners for FIDE Chess Olympiad. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The hospitals empanelled with the Ayushman Bharat scheme will now get star ratings based on their healthcare quality and services. The National Health Authority, NHA, has issued guidelines in this regard. More than 23,000 hospitals across the country are empanelled with Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, out of which more than 12,828 hospitals are from public sector and over 10,000 hospitals are from private sector. Talking exclusively to AIR News, Joint Director at National Health Authority, Dr. J.L. Meena, said the rating of the empanelled hospitals has been proposed on 6 healthcare quality domains. These are timeliness, safety, patient-centered, effectiveness, efficiency and equitability.
Star rating is mainly focused like the 5-star. If you get 90% or more than 90%, you get a 5-star. If you are 75 to 90%, you get a 4-star. If you 50 to less than 75, 3-star. If you 25 to less than 50 is 2-star, and less than 25 is the 1-star. For this star rating, the main important benefit for the beneficiaries, like the beneficiaries know that this hospital is give the super specialty services, give the quality healthcare services. So, if the beneficiary is very serious, please directly go to the 5-star or 4-star hospital.
Dr. Meena said the star ranking of hospitals will provide guidance to beneficiaries in approaching the empanelled hospitals. Our correspondent reports that the Ayushman Bharat scheme, which is the world's largest healthcare program, provides a health cover of 5 lakh rupees annually to vulnerable families. It aims at benefiting more than 10 crore poor families all over the country. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has expressed hope that the process of privatization of Air India will be completed during this year. Addressing a virtual meet on Namo app yesterday, the minister said that the government should not be running airports and the airlines.
Air India has been an asset, very good record, very trained professional people. But मैं आपको दिल से कहता हूँ, government should not be running airports and government should not be running airlines. Government अगर airport चलाती है या airline चलाती है तो हमारी जो सरकारी rules होते हैं L1, L2, ऐसे commercial entities नहीं चलती. और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है इस साल के दौरान we will complete that privatization process.
Last Tuesday, the government had extended the deadline for placing bids for Air India by 2 months till 30th of October as the COVID-19 fallout has disrupted economic activity globally.
In Maharashtra, 3 police personnel have been dismissed from service in connection with the Palghar mob lynching case. A senior official said that these police personnel include an assistant police inspector who was in charge of the Kafir police. 2 others are assistant sub-inspectors. These 3 police personnel, along with their 5 other colleagues, had been placed under suspension following the incident. The Inspector General of Police, Konkan Range, dismissed the trio from service through an order issued on Saturday. 2 seers and the driver were lynched by a mob at a remote village in Palghar on 16th of April this year when they were travelling in a car to Surat in Gujarat to attend a funeral amidst the COVID-induced lockdown.
Keralites across the country and the globe are celebrating their most popular festival Onam today. The annual harvest festival is celebrated to honour the memory of the legendary King Mahabali, the honest, kind and compassionate ruler of Kerala. Every house and place is adorned to welcome the king. The President and the Vice President have greeted the people on the occasion of Onam. In his message, President Ramnath Kovind said, the festival of Onam is a symbol of country's rich cultural heritage. It is also an expression of the gratitude to Mother Nature at the arrival of the new crop. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said Onam Day is marked by traditional games, music and dancing and the delectable Onasadya, the grand feast. He urged people to celebrate Onam in a modest way at home, strictly adhering to COVID health and hygiene protocols. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted the people on the auspicious occasion of Onam. In a tweet, he said, this is a unique festival which celebrates harmony. He said it is also an occasion to express gratitude to our hard-working farmers. In his Mann Ki Baat program yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the verve of Onam festival can be felt everywhere and it is turning out to be an international festival.
इन दिनों ओणम का पर्व धूमधाम से मनाया जा रहा है। ये पर्व चिनगम महीने में आता है। इस दौरान लोग कुछ नया खरीदते हैं, अपने घरों को सजाते हैं, पुक्कलम बनाते हैं, ओणम सादिया का आनंद लेते हैं। तरह तरह के खेल और प्रतियोगिताएं भी होती हैं। ओणम की धूम तो आज दूर सुदूर विदेशों तक पहुंची हुई है। अमेरिका हो, यूरोप हो या खाड़ी देश हो, ओणम का उल्लास आपको हर कहीं मिल जाएगा। ओणम एक इंटरनेशनल फेस्टिवल बनता जा रहा है।
Amidst the pandemic, Keralites across the globe are celebrating Tiruovan today. More details from our correspondent.
Tiruvonam is the most auspicious day of Onam festival. This annual harvest festival of the state celebrates the visit of the mythical and righteous king Mahabali. Onam is being celebrated by all Keralites irrespective of religion, symbolizing secularism and harmony. Onam marks the season of plenty, but this time the COVID pandemic had taken the sheen out of the festivities. As authorities had urged to follow strict guidelines for a safer Onam, people at large will be celebrating the festival in their homes. As large gatherings are prohibited, Onapokkalam, Onakaligal, Onasadya will all be restricted to one's own home as safety remains the primary concern. But the spirit of Onam that instills hope and prosperity is in its full glory that hopes to bring a new dawn free of pandemic and a better future. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In some international news, Lebanon's ambassador to Germany, Mustafa Adib, is on course to become the country's next prime minister after securing major political backing. Mr. Adib was named by 4 former prime ministers on the eve of binding consultations between the president and parliamentary blocs on their choice for the post. A US-Israeli delegation led by White House senior advisor Jared Kushner will visit the UAE today. The delegation includes a number of representatives of various sectors in Israel on board the first Israeli commercial plane to land in the UAE. U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien and Meir Ben-Shabbat, National Security Advisor and head of the Israeli National Security Council, are also part of it. The delegation will meet a number of representatives of the UAE government agencies.
Moving on to sports, India and Russia were announced as joint winners of the FIDE Chess Olympiad yesterday as Nihal Sarin and Divya Deshmukh lost connection to their games in the second round and had to forfeit. In a first, the Olympiad was conducted online. Originally, Russia was declared as the winner, but India filed an appeal and after investigation, both India and Russia were announced as joint winners. This was the first time that India reached the finals of the FIDE Chess Olympiad. India's best finish at the Olympiad had come in 2014 when the contingent returned with a bronze medal. The President and the Vice President have congratulated the Indian chess team for jointly winning the gold medal with Russia in the first ever FIDE Online Chess Olympiad. In a tweet, President Ramnath Kovind said, India is delighted by their stellar performance and all are proud of them. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said, it is a proud moment for all of us. He also wished the Indian chess players many more such laurels. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated the Indian chess players for winning the FIDE Online Chess Olympiad. In a tweet, Prime Minister said their hard work and dedication are admirable. The Prime Minister said that their success will surely motivate other chess players. The Prime Minister congratulated the Russian team as well. In Odisha, many areas have suffered the impact of flood. The flood water has started receding in many of the affected areas, yet certain pockets of at least 4 districts continue to be under the influence of flood. This was revealed in a high-level review meeting held in Bhubaneswar by the Special Relief Commissioner and Principal Secretary, Water Resources Department yesterday. As per the official information, flood situation in many affected areas have already started improving owing to a reduction of inflow into the Hirakud Dam yesterday. Water levels in rivers like Brahmani, Budha Balanga and Baitarni are likely to come down further today.
Heavy rain continues to lash many parts of Saurashtra and South Gujarat. About 21 villages close to the embankment of Narmada River in Jhagadia, Bharuch and Ankaleshwar talukas in Bharuch district have been put on alert following heavy discharge of water from the Sardar Sarovar Dam. 4 lakh cusecs of water are being released following very heavy rains in the river's catchment areas. A team of National Disaster Response Force (NDRF) has been put on standby mode in the district for rescue and relief work following the flood alert issued by the district administration. Narmada River is flowing above the danger mark in Bharuch city. Nearly 2,500 people from the low-lying areas of Narmada River have been evacuated to safer places. Local weather office has predicted heavy rain for the next 2 days. In Madhya Pradesh, 10 people died in the last 2 days in rain-related incidents across the state. Around 11,000 people have been evacuated from rain-hit districts to safer places during the rescue operations. In a respite, rains abated during the day in many areas that were earlier pounded by torrential showers over the last 2 days. The rain casualties have been reported from Kathni, Chhatarpur, Raisen and Sihori districts. Personnel of the Army and the National Disaster Response Force (NDRF) joined massive rescue operations with IAF choppers, boats and other gear. On the second consecutive day, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan conducted the aerial survey of flooded areas in Harda, Hoshangabad, Sihori, Raisen and Vidisha districts.
Delhi recorded 236.5 millimeter rainfall in August this year, the highest for the month in 7 years. Overall this year, the city has gauged 555 millimeter precipitation against the normal of 521.8 millimeters since June 1st, when the monsoon season started. India Meteorological Department has predicted intermittent light to moderate rains over the next 6 days. Now let us take a look at today's weather. The national capital Delhi is likely to see a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 33 degrees. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature is likely to hover between 25 and 27. Chennai is likely to see a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum was 27 degrees while maximum temperature could reach 36. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was recorded at 25 in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 35. The city will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy and towards afternoon or evening. In Srinagar, the temperature will hover between 15 and 30. Ladakh is also likely to see a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature may hover between 13 and 23 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the minimum temperature was 17 and maximum will be 30. It is likely to have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Hindustan Times notes the government working on 5 models to share COVID vaccines with neighbours and friendly nations under the headline, Vaccine Diplomacy in India's Outreach Plan. Pitching for self-reliance in every field, the Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat stressed on making India local toy hub, observes the Pioneer. The paper quotes the PM as saying, next social media giants will be Desi. Having many firsts to her credit, apart from being the first female cardiologist of India, the Hindu reports the passing away of the award-winning cardiologist Dr. Padmavati. Cases surge 5 lakh in 8 days, but fatality rate falls to 1.79%, writes the Tribune. And finally, India make history, win Olympiad gold, sharing the title with Russia, reports Hindustan Times.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasizes the importance of self-reliance for all-round growth and development of the nation. Tamil Nadu government withdraws e-pass system for travel within the state. Haryana lifts 2-day weekly lockdown of markets after Unlock 4 guidelines. Festival of Onam being celebrated across the country today. And in sports, India and Russia declared joint winners for FIDE Chess Olympiad. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.